Your four favorites are All of Us Strangers, School of Rock, The Iron Claw, and Crossroads. So you've got two heartbreaking, emotionally devastating films and two movies about making music. So my immediate thought was, why not combine the two? And that's why my top choice for you is Sound of Metal, which is about a drummer who's dealing with hearing loss. A Ghost Story is about grief, like All of Us Strangers and The Iron Claw, and one of the characters is a musician, like in Crossroads and School of Rock. And I especially think you'd like this one because you like All of Us Strangers, which is also technically a ghost story. Even though Crossroads isn't a comedy, when I watched it, I couldn't help but draw some comparisons to Tenacious D and The Pick of Destiny. I won't elaborate on the comparisons because I don't want to spoil the final act of Crossroads for anyone else watching, but you'll understand what I mean when you watch it. And I especially think you'd love this movie because you also have School of Rock in your favorites, which also stars Jack Black, so I think this movie is perfect for you. All of Us Strangers makes a lot of people cry, has Paul Mescal in it, involves queer characters, and is about an adult reflecting on their childhood and their relationship with their parents. But there's another movie that fits that description that I was surprised you didn't have marked as watched, and that's Aftersun. The Skeleton Twins is about siblings like the Iron Claw. Like All of Us Strangers, it has some heartbreaking moments, has at least one queer character, and involves characters reflecting on their childhood, but it also has funny, lighthearted moments like School of Rock. Entendue is a harrowing film about siblings like the Iron Claw, and it depicts characters trying to better understand their parents like All of Us Strangers. Two of your favorites have a lot to do with death and grief, and the other two are about making music, so I think you'd appreciate All That Jazz, which is about death, grief, and making art, specifically when it comes to staging a musical. So it also has a lot to do with music. And like All of Us Strangers, it has elements of fantasy in it, and the title starts with the word all. La La Land, like All of Us Strangers and the Iron Claw, tends to make people cry, and one of the characters is a musician, like in Crossroads and School of Rock, but this one also has some fun, lighter moments like School of Rock. The Discarnates, like All of Us Strangers, is based on the novel Strangers, but this one leans into the horror genre and is quite different compared to All of Us Strangers. I think if you expect it to be the same as All of Us Strangers, you'll be disappointed, but if you go into it knowing it's going to take a pretty different approach, it's absolutely worth watching. I personally was blown away by it. I know these don't seem that similar on the surface, but I think you'd enjoy Petite Maman since you like All of Us Strangers. I just can't explain without the risk of spoilers. If you like All of Us Strangers for the romance aspect of the story, then I think you might enjoy Weekend, which is also from the same director. The Father, like All of Us Strangers, is an emotionally devastating film about family and memory that plays with the perception of reality. I was thinking of movies about wrestling or combat sports in general since you're a fan of the Iron Claw, and you saw most of the ones that came to mind. The only one you didn't have marked as watched is Foxcatcher, so I think that one is worth checking out. And if you want a movie about wrestling and family, but one that's closer in tone to School of Rock, then I think you might like Fighting with My Family. Since you like School of Rock, a few other feel-good movies about students starting a band that I think you'd enjoy are Swing Girls and Sing Street, and a couple other fun movies about musicians that I think you'd enjoy are That Thing You Do and A Hard Day's Night. Another film about blues music specifically that you might appreciate since you like Crossroads is Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Since you like Crossroads, you might also like Crossroads. Just kidding. But actually, now that I think about it, Crossroads, like Crossroads, is a road movie about three people traveling together with very little money, and the protagonist is trying to pursue their dreams. Although now that I mentioned road movies, My Own Private Idaho is a road movie like Crossroads, and it has a queer love story like All of Us Strangers.